Alright folks, here it is. My new South Bend lathe. Looking pretty good. Everything's pretty tight. Only problem I got here is the cross feed's got a little bit of a backlash on it. Sounds like a good project once I get it running is to make a new screw. Other than that, it's in really good shape. A lot of surface rust, but that's it. So yeah, man, what a deal. Looking forward to rebuilding this. Alright. Pretty nice. Taking it all apart and cleaning all that. Putting more in there.
You can end up with a bucket of bolts left over and going, what the heck gonna do with these?
No.
But he's cleaning the project.
Nice though, my God, looks like it's in a good shape, man.
Oh, I couldn't believe it. I was worried, you know, because it's
220?
223 phase.
Ooh.
I've got to either put a VFD or a converter on it. Probably a VFD. A little bit of the old, a little bit of the new.
All right.
Go on. Might be, it might be this block broke.
That's all right, now you worry about the block.
Still going up?
Yep.
Yep. Sure is.
We need to bring it in so we can go to a stronger point.
So you gotta,
Oh, you want to be this right?
you gotta. I think so. Good. We'll see that.
Yeah.
Alright, easy now. It's wheeled in the wrong direction to slide. These wheels are right. Is the trailer sitting on it?
Those wheels are not right there. No, the trailer's not sitting on it. It's just so blooming heavy. Well, how about the bar?
Bar pulled. Oh, we're getting off there. Daryl, can you pull the side back that way some?
Which way you want to go?
It needs to go that way. We're getting off.
More?
Yeah, a little more if you can.
Yeah, get over here. Pull it.
More? You want to go now?
Alright, I'm going to lower it down just a little bit.
Alright.
Don't need to have it this high. Get this back that way.
Yeah.
Hang on, let me get around there.
Want to try to pull it over?
You can, yeah.
All right, you try to pry it off.
Back around.
Too far over this way.
Okay.
Give me a bar.
Oh, yeah.
All right, what happens when we get to the tailgate? You want to keep on going?
Pick it up. Oh, that's crack.
Hold on. Hold on. Easy now.
One leg's over the crack anyway.
Go ahead.
Now we're almost to the edge on this
Yeah.
side.
Now what do you want to do? You
Okay.
want to put some blocks of wood down or something?
Yeah, we need something down there.
Something? You don't want to break one of them legs.
No. So, we got a layer. Now then.
Ooh!
Now, we're on the roll.
Up with the plywood. There we go.
Yeah.
Hello everyone, welcome to Green Gander 75. I'm Buddy Phillips and this is my garage. Okay, well we got it here. It was quite an adventure getting it here. But here is my new 14.5 South Bend lathe. I was really surprised when I got there to pick it up find out that it was not a 13 as it was described, but it's actually a 14.5. So fantastic find. So it was quite an adventure getting it off the trailer. Quite a bit heavier than we were expecting, seeing as it's a larger size lathe than what we were expecting on getting. But we got it here, we got it safely, nobody got hurt. So really pleased how everything went. So what's the next steps? Okay, well, we're going to start tearing it down. So you're going to see in a series of videos. Probably going to take me a couple months to work on it, so you'll see a series of videos over the next couple months. The process of tearing this down, cleaning everything, repairing anything that needs to be repaired, put it back together. Of course, getting a nice coat of paint on it. Polishing up everything that needs to be polished up. Getting rid of all this rust, making it look like it should. But all in all, it's in pretty good shape. Very little damage or wear or anything. The ways look fantastic. They're just as clean as they can possibly be. We've got some damage on this hand wheel here. It was broken a while back. Apparently, a long while back. The brake has actually got paint on it, so it's been broken for a long time. So we're most likely going to try to go ahead and replace that. Since we don't have the missing part, it's really not practical to try to repair it. The cross feed has got a considerable amount of backlash in it. A good half a turn. But the looks of it is it's probably going to be something that can be worked on, and we can tighten that up. Future project will be to go ahead and see if we can make a new screw for it and see if we can really take care of that. Other than that, it is in fantastic shape. I'm really pleased. There's some evidence of some damage on the back side of this compound. Apparently at some point somebody really didn't know what they were doing, so they apparently ran into the chuck at some point. From the looks of it, it was not this one. This one shows no sign of that happening. The 4-jaw chucks doesn't show it either. So whatever got ran into it there, we don't have that, thankfully. So we don't have to worry about continuing with any damage to the chuck or anything else for that matter. It's really not going to be bad. Just got some spots here we're going to have to file out, smooth out, and I think it's going to look really nice. And of course, I don't think it's going to affect the function of the lathe at all. So, with all that said, I guess the next step is to go ahead and get started tearing it down. So, alright, let's get going. Okay, let's go ahead and remove the oil here from underneath the apron. Got a little Allen screw down here. Well, the general idea is to remove the oil from in the apron. As you can see, there is no oil coming out. Well, gee, that may not be a good thing. Okay, so all the parts are going to go, small parts in particular, are going to go into bags. So I'm going to keep track of this. This bag marked apron. Oil plug will go into this bag here. Alright, so I've got to use this cup for something else, just in case this suddenly decide to start dripping oil, we'll go ahead and put this paper towel underneath it. Alright, well, let's move on to the headstock. Okay, here on the headstock, we're going to see if we got any oil in this too. Before I go any further, let me point out that this Allen screw here was heavily coated, like this one here, with paint. So what I had to do was I used the heat gun attachment here on my butane torch to soften that paint. Then, in electrician terms, what we would call our sacrificial screwdriver, the one we use to bang and scratch and get paint out of screws and everything, and that's the only thing we use it for. We don't use it for any screw undoing screws or anything. This is the only thing we use it for. I was able to pick out any remaining paint and scrape off the rest of that. Okay, so I'll put this paper towel down here to catch any oil that comes out. Hopefully we have some oil that comes out. And it's coming loose pretty good. Get a bucket down here. Have to go just a little farther. Let's see what comes out of the headstock. Alright, well, we've got some oil. Not very much. Definitely got some oil on this one. It's been in there a while too. It's pretty strong. Let me get my hand out of the way here. As you can see, we've got some oil down in here. Not very much. I'm not sure how much it holds, how much it should hold, but I would think it'd be a lot more than that. Okay, well, I will finish the rest of this off camera. Could be here for a while. Alright, soften this paint. I don't want to damage anything. The only thing I'm trying to do is soften this paint. Apparently this machine was repainted at some point. And they really just coated as much paint on here as they possibly could, and they weren't worried about any screws or anything. It was just get it painted, and that was it. Alright, paint's starting to soften. There's enough metal here to absorb the heat. I'm not terribly worried about damaging the metal. I'm not using any open flame, I'm just using heat. As soon as I start to see a little bit of a sheen on it, I'm going to stop. Just like that. Shut that off. Using my sacrificial screwdriver. Now, I know some people say, well, you should be using a pick for this. And you would be correct. However, I don't have one. So I've learned to make do with what I have, and seeing as is I'm an industrial AC mechanic specializing in controls. I have plenty of screwdrivers, and those of you who are electricians out there will definitely recognize the term sacrificial screwdriver. We all have one. We use them for knocking out plugs and boxes and doing exactly what you see here, removing paint from screws so we can get into things. That's just what we do, and it works. Okay. Now the last one was a little difficult to get to move, so we're gonna take our time here. And there it is. The last thing we want to do is damage anything. Not that this part would be hard to get. I just don't particularly want to have to buy another one. I have a very, very tight budget, so if I can avoid having to purchase anything, then I will definitely do it. You just have to do what you have to do when well, you don't have very much money. And that is my case. Not that I'm complaining. We've learned to make do, as have a lot of people. It's amazing what you can do if you put your mind to it, even on limited resources. Alright, same deal with the last one. Got some oil coming out. It's fairly clean. Really strong odor. Okay, I'm going to go ahead and finish this up off camera. No telling how long it'll take. The last one took about 15 minutes, and it's still draining. I've got a paper towel underneath it to catch it, and probably gonna have to do the same thing with this one. Okay, so not very much came out of this. I used a screwdriver and found that it is really nasty inside there. I'm not really surprised about that. I've got a feeling that it got water in there, just moisture in the air. Seeing it is from Florida. You can see it collecting on the back end of this nut, screw rather. So, put that into the bag labeled Headstock. That will get a thorough cleaning and paint removal when we get to that step in the process. Okay. The next step is we're going to go ahead and remove this gear cover. You have an Allen screw right here. As soon as I get the right one, go ahead and remove that. Most everything on this machine has been really, really easy to remove. Make sure that gets in the correct bag. You know, one of the benefits for videotaping this is that I will be able to go back and look in my film and be able to tell, okay, that's where that went to, because it could be weeks before we get this back on the machine, possibly longer, because this, you know, you start with this, and when you go to reverse the process to put it back on, well, guess what's going to be the last? this is going to be the last thing to go back on. So it could be weeks, it could be months before we get this back together. You know, everything's finished, everything's painted, and we put it back together. So that's why I'm doing a film. I can keep track of what I'm working on, and you know, it just helps out that way. The other option would be take pictures, and I'll probably be taking some pictures along the way too. Okay, the back side here is just a regular old bolt, 1/2 inch. Is that the correct thing for this machine? Based on what I've seen, I would probably say not. Oh, look at that, we're starting to get some nasty stuff coming out of there. I knew it was there. Yeah, I don't think that's original with the machine. So that's maybe something we're going to be replacing. Try to find the correct type screw. Okay, that should remove the gear cover. And there it is. Okay, don't see any cracks. Everything looks clean. Gears looking pretty good shape. Oh, look at that. Yeah, we're getting a lot of stuff coming out of that oil reservoir now. Yeah, look at that. Look at that. Oh, it's nasty. Alright, so I'll probably have some oil to clean up later on, but you know, you won't be able to tell if this thing is nasty anyways, what came out just now, or what's been here for the last 50 years. Okay, on to the next part. Okay, so we're finishing up the second day of our restoration project on this lathe. I did a lot of work off camera. Was doing a lot on the gear train, and the gearbox was really nasty, a lot of grease. I just simply didn't want to mess with the camera in the process of working on that. But I got a lot accomplished. As you can see, the entire gear train has now been removed. Gearbox has been removed. Lead screw has been removed. Number of other shrouds and covers have been removed. Coming along very nicely. Quite pleased at how it's going on. I will say that this project is not for the person who's not very mechanically inclined. You've got to really think ahead on what you're doing and plan for what might happen. Take for instance, removing the gearbox here. Had a stuck screw. Of course, it was the last screw that I removed. So dealing with a stuck screw and trying to hold on to a very heavy part at the same time. It was a little bit difficult, but I was ready for it. I had a good idea that was going to happen, so no problems there. I was able to get it loose, and I got it removed. So, let me go ahead and turn the camera around. I'm going to show you a few things, what came off of here, what I've taken off so far. Okay, over here on the workbench. Of course, we got the tailstock. It just slid right off, no problem. Here is the gearbox. Gearbox looks very good, very clean. Well, as clean as to be expected. No damaged parts inside of it that I can see. Everything looks very nice. So I think that's going to clean up and it's going to work great. And like everything on this machine, it's very heavy. Okay, I'm not going to pick these parts up because they're really nasty. But you've got the various gears and all for the gear train in the back. Lead screw is right here. Yeah, that's pretty much it. And of course, we're keeping track of everything, making sure they're all put into bags that are labeled as where they go. I've also been taking pictures of where everything goes for reference later on. Not just the video, but I've also been taking pictures. Alright, well, let's swing back over to the lathe and show you a few things left on that. Okay, so at this point, I'm pretty much in a standstill. I've got to buy some tools. I've got to buy an arbor press. Got to buy some various wrenches and all to continue the project. So that being the case, this will be the end of part 1. Part 2 will be the continuation of tearing everything down. I believe the next thing we'll be tearing down is the headstock. But in addition to that, we're going to go ahead and start getting ready to start degreasing and painting. There's no sense in taking the entire thing apart and then doing all the degreasing and painting at one time. Don't have enough buckets for all that. So we're going to do a little bit at a time. So, with that said, I guess that is it for part 1. I'd like to thank you for watching. Really appreciate it. If you're interested in what I'm doing, go ahead and click the subscribe button. I don't just do lathes. That's just something new for me. If you go back in my videos, you can see I'm also working on a camper. So yeah, I work on all kinds of different things. So if you're interested, go ahead and click subscribe and see what I'm up to. So okay, well, thank you for watching and have a good evening.